What's up, guys? It's MB Boxing, and today I'm going to be predicting the outcome of Erislandy Lara versus Greg Vendetti, which will be a 12-rounder for the WBA regular Super-Welterweight World Championship. And this fight will be Saturday, August 29th from the Sun Mohegan Casino in Uncasville, Connecticut. And it will be broadcasted on Fox, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 5 p.m. Pacific. And again, to both fighters, the reigning champion, Erislandy Lara, has a record of 26-3 with 3 draws and 15 knockouts. Last year, he won this world title, August 31st, 2019, over Ramon Alvarez, Canelo Alvarez's brother, by early knockout. I believe it was in like the 4th round or the 3rd round. And Alvarez didn't look right in that fight. I know Alvarez isn't as good as his brother, Canelo Alvarez, but Ramon Alvarez really didn't look good that night. He weighed in, I believe 7 pounds over the super welterweight limit. He weighed 162 or 166, whatever. He weighed so much more. And he just didn't look right. His hands were down throughout the fight. Lara was hitting him. He fell into the ropes. He got back up, and Lara stopped him. And that was a good win for Erislandy Lara. It was his last fight. But Lara has a draw to Brian Castano for the WBA Super Welterweight title. And that fight was an all-out war. It was a great fight, in my opinion, one of the best that PBC has put on. It was a very evenly matched fight, as Lara and Brian Castano, if you look at their resumes, I know Lara has fought more guys, but Castano had that win over Michel Soro going into that fight. So that was a very close fight. It was scored a draw, as I said before. Erislandy Lara has a loss to Jarrett Hurd by split decision for the, I believe, IBF and WBA Super Welterweight titles. He did lose that fight because of a knockdown in the 12th round. I believe he was ahead on the scorecards, or it would have been a draw. But that was a very close fight. Lara has been in some wars, people. He's been in a war with Canelo Alvarez, Jarrett Hurd, Austin Trout, Paul Williams. He's had some of the best fights in the super welterweight division. He's definitely one of the greats, as BoxRec has him currently ranked number 2 in the world. I kind of disagree with that. Maybe I have him number 3 or number 4. But he's definitely one of the best in the super welterweight division, or one of the best Cuban fighters of all time. As I mentioned before, he has a win versus Alfredo Angulo by TKO. He's a 2-time world champion, 3-time if you're going to count interim titles. And he's won the WBA belt twice, well, the regular title. I don't think he has won the super title. It's very confusing there, but I believe they recognize him as a world champion, and so do I. He's also won the IBO belts multiple times, but I don't really count that as a world title. He has a win over Austin Trout by unanimous decision, as I said before. Majority decision loss to Paul Williams back in 2011. And he has a very controversial split decision loss to Canelo Alvarez for no title. It was just a 12-round main event. Hell of a fight. You guys should go check that out. It was such a good fight. Some had it a draw. Some had it either way. It could have gone either way. It was a really good fight. But Lara, based on the experience advantage, I think he's easily going to win this fight. Probably going to knock Vendetti out early on, maybe round 3 or round 4. But to get into Greg Vendetti's resume, he's 22-3 with 1 draw and 12 wins by knockout. He only has 2 notable fights on his resume. Well, not really, mostly 1 notable fight. He has 1 TKO loss to Michel Soro, who's currently ranked number 5 by BoxRec in the super welterweight division. And that's not a bad loss, saying that because Michel Soro was in a war with Brian Castano, and Michel Soro is currently the WBA Gold World Champion and one of the best in the super welterweight division right now. But he's coming off his career best win as Greg Vendetti over Michael Anderson by unanimous decision. I know most of you guys don't even know who Michael Anderson is. I don't as well, but when I checked Greg Vendetti's resume, he hasn't fought anybody. His other 2 losses and draw were to guys who were had their pro debut. They were either 2-13 or something like that. He hasn't really fought anybody good, and I heard he was saying some trash talk about Lara. I wouldn't want to trash talk one of the best Cuban fighters of all time, in Erislandy Lara. So, and I forgot to mention that Greg Vendetti is ranked number 43 by BoxRec, as opposed to Lara ranked number 2, as I said before. But again, I'm saying this, I think it's going to be an early, easy KO win for Erislandy Lara. It's going to be similar to the Michel Soro fight. As when Greg Vendetti fought Michel Soro, just the experience advantage was too much. He just backed him up into the ropes hammered him with combinations. It got like the early third round, fourth round knockout. I believe it was the third round or the fourth round. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments or tell me which round it was. But it was an early stoppage win for Asoro, and I believe it will be an early stoppage win for Lara tonight, and it will be his first defense of his world title, and he'll pick up the IBO title tonight as well if he wins. And yeah, that's really it. I'm MB Boxing. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.